Hello, everybody. Welcome back to part 2 of my Zelda 2 Link is Adventuresome randomizer run. It's going to be a pretty chill stream. We'll see if any friends will be dropping in a voice call sooner or later. But yeah, my eyebrows are like doing something weird in my tracking. What is going on with my eyebrows? But yeah, that's what it's meant to be. Have I just got resting bitch face at the moment? Also, the game isn't showing up for some reason. Let's see if I can diagnose that. It's working fine last time. Oh, never mind. It's working now. There we go. Oh, but the audio's not coming through now. What the heck? Alright, one sec. I'll just make another source for it. No, don't show that. I might need to go exit full screen real quick. Okay, I think we're good now. Turn the volume down a little bit. Okay. Yeah, I think we're good now. Awesome. Alrighty. So, as we were, we are pretty far through this randomizer run. I had a hard time last time trying to find the bloody jump spell and all the up stab and down stab, but I managed to get all those now. So it's kind of going to be a pretty clean run. So I'm going to see if I can swap up my avatar real quick. That might look a bit better for what I'm doing right now. Hello! Hello, Lobo? No, you're muted at the moment.
Testing, hello?
Hello!
Hey, sorry, my mic was unplugged.
Oh, good. I'm used to those problems. How's it going?
Goes good.
Alright, before we start getting chatting, I need to remember what the fuck I'm doing. I guess I'm on a spree of dungeons now? Just gotta remember which dungeons I haven't done yet. I don't... Did I do the Maze Island dungeon yet? I don't remember. I'll have to go through them all. Anywho, yeah. Oh, I'm just getting encoding overload. Really? Hold on. Probably good I investigate all these issues early. See, last time that happened, I thought it was because my CPU was overheating. But it shouldn't be overheating anymore. I installed a new fan and everything. Yeah, it's definitely not overheating. I wonder why that would be happening. There must be another cause of it.
Weird.
Have to keep an eye on it. Good old technical difficulties. Did I get this one yet? Anywho, I've been a busy bee. You know, I mentioned last stream that I've been binging Biscuit Hammer. And I ended up finishing it.
Nice. Like I saw you post about that in Discord.
I kind of I watched the anime, but I also went back to the manga for certain scenes just to see comparisons and stuff. And You know what?
Mm-hmm.
I think the anime was fine. It wasn't a stellar adaptation by any means, and some of the fight scenes looked kind of bad. There was like one or two in particular, like, that's not great looking. But that aside, you know, it's a very loyal adaptation to the story, and I think it hit the like emotional beats it was supposed to. So like, I thought it was acceptable. And I've seen a lot of bad adaptations in my time, so my bar is probably pretty low, but I thought it was perfectly acceptable. And I enjoyed my time with it.
Well, enjoying it is the important part.
But that said, I think I like Mizukami's newer stuff more. I think I've been spoiled because like Biscuit Hammer is like his first really like long form manga, and it feels like he's like developed as an author so much since then. So like Planet With is one of his most recent works, and man, I just like it a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
Not to say Biscuit Hammer is bad, I'm just spoiled. Spoiled by really quality storytelling.
Well, I think what ends up happening is, in almost all cases, writers just get better with time.
Yeah, exactly.
And
he definitely
there's very few exceptions to that.
Yeah.
But there are exceptions.
I think like my biggest
sorry.
Probably my biggest issue with Biscuit Hammer was the pacing. Was just a little bit long-winded. And there were definitely like there were times where I put my attention waning a little bit. Whereas like more modern works, it's like he's gotten really good at pacing to where things can go really quick but still not feel rushed. He's just very good at that with his like more recent works. And funny enough, like in the time since then, I decided to pick up Spirit Circle as well, which is a more recent manga by him. And I'm really liking it. I think it's like also like got a lot better pacing. It's just like immediate investment, like right into it, pretty much straight away. And yeah, like Spirit Circle was not what I was expecting though, because like if you look at like Biscuit Hammer and Planet With, you might just like think, oh, he's a bit of a goofy guy. Like all of his works have like this real like surreal goofiness to them, but Spirit Circle is really heavy. Like, I wasn't expecting it to be so heavy. Like, it's one of those manga that I just, like, pick up and binge for a few hours, and I just put down and, like, I'm just sitting there just in bed, like, thinking about my life. Like, it's a lot.
Mm-hmm. I remember having that feeling with reading the manga of Koi no Katachi.
Silent Voice, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Because, like, I think the anime is I mean, it's killing, it's great. But I like the manga more, and it's not because I think the manga isn't necessarily better. It's things came to more of a conclusion in the manga. I didn't like the anime leaves off with like 10 or 20 chapters to go.
Yeah, I heard there was a bit of an original ending for the anime movie.
Mm-hmm. And it's not a bad thing.
It was a very satisfying ending, honestly, but like, yeah, I don't know. I have no idea where the story would go from there, but I guess there's still room for more if they wanted to do more, I guess.
Yeah, there isn't a whole lot more. It's mostly just like denouement stuff. But the most important thing for me is the fact that basically the direction that their lives go in at the end of the series is both of them become a pair of hairdressers working together. Like that's their dream. Because his mom was the hairdresser and so yeah, it's got that nice ending to it. Although there's like a little bit of drama stumbling between where the anime movie leaves off and the manga, but like again, I don't the anime is probably a better story, but it is not a complete story. Is kind of how I'm looking at it. So I like knowing like what give me an epilogue, tell me what happened, and then I'm happy.
I will say Biscuit Hammer had a very good epilogue. Like, You know, the final conflict was resolved in the second last episode, and then they just had another episode, which was just epilogue. Like, here's what the characters are doing with their lives now. And it was so nice. I love, you know, a good, satisfying epilogue can really go a long way to help an ending.
Mm-hmm. There's just too many stories have non-endings just so they can have more story later.
Yeah. But yeah, Biscuit Ham was pretty conclusive, but yeah. It was good. I enjoyed it a lot. I'm definitely a fan of his work, but I get the feeling I might have enjoyed it more if I didn't spoil myself with Planet With first. That was just unbelievably good. But yeah, so do you know anything about Spirit Circle? Because I didn't really.
Nope. I don't know anything about Sengoku Yoko or even really Biscuit Hammer.
Okay, well, I want to talk about Spirit Circle for a second because it's kind of unique. At least unique as far as I can think of.
I guess what I'll say is I am probably never gonna watch the Biscuit Hammer anime, but I am probably gonna watch Planet With and Sengoku Yoko.
Yes, please watch Planet With. I'm like, everyone needs to watch this anime. And yeah, I'm enjoying Sengoku Yoko a lot as well.
I forget. Before you go on, but I don't want to lose this thought. I'm just curious. Have you watched the anime Samurai Flamenco?
I have.
Okay.
That was the only bonkers anime.
Yes, it is.
But like, I watched it and I didn't know if I enjoyed it, but it stuck with me, and that's a good thing. I always think about that.
I enjoyed arcs of it. There were bits I liked and bits I thought were a little too much.
Yeah, definitely. But just the ambition of that fucking show, it's fucking art. Like, even if you don't like it, it's art.
Yeah, no, it absolutely is. like that is an anime that will never get made again, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, but like I really wasn't expecting what Spirit Circle was. So like the basic premise is it's like a high school boy meets high school girl, and the high school girl hates him for some reason. And he's like, what the fuck? Why do you fucking hate me? And it turns out the reason is she remembers past lives and they've reincarnated, and like apparently in his past lives he's done something to make her hate her. And like at first it's like it's quite lighthearted. You think it's gonna be like, okay, it's like there's some misunderstanding, they're gonna clear it up. But then you like actually start seeing the past lives, and fucked up shit happens in them, and you totally understand why she hates him and like why they hate each other. It's like, oh god, it's so like upsetting. Like I was really expecting something a bit more lighthearted, but it goes fucking hard. like into these stories of like, you know, revenge and like just these people just ruining each other's lives and getting each other killed or killing each other over and over. And now they're just like normal high schoolers, and they have to like deal with that knowledge of what their past lives have done, but also like trying to like consolidate that with, no, I'm a different person now. I'm not the same person as like who I was in a past life. And it's just so like just exploring that has been so interesting. And there's like so many past lives that you need to learn about, which spans like most of the runtime of the story. And I'm still getting through it all, but yeah, it's been a fucking roller coaster.
Yeah, that's an interesting kind of story. I would say it reminds me a little bit of Inu X Boku SS. I don't know if you have read or watched that.
No.
Okay, well, I don't want to spoil it. It's not terrible. It starts really, really weird and kind of almost off-putting. So like the premise. The first episode is kind of a plot twist episode. Can I even say the premise?
Is this a show I should watch? Would you recommend it?
It used to be an honorable mention on my favorites list.
Okay.
But there are elements of it that have aged badly. Like basically the premise okay, I'll say the non-twist premise. Rich girl who lives in or wait. Sorry, just a second. This is hard because I'm like trying to give the premise without the real premise, if that makes sense.
Sure.
Just a sec. I'm going to consult the Wikipedia page.
Damn it, I can't remember what dungeons I've completed. I wonder if there's any way we can, like, figure that out. No, wait, there is. You can check the jewels.
Okay, so I think I can...
Actually.
I think I can avoid the main premise, but honestly, I kind of almost want to spoil the premise. Is not like a giga secret. It's just like the first episode is pretty good, and hides the premise until the end of the first episode. So like maybe
Sure.
I would just say go blind into the first episode if this first bit sounds interesting.
Sure.
And I think there's a chance that it won't, because I'll explain the milk aging part of it that's kind of bad, but like so girl is in a rich family, and she moves into a new dorm, which is basically a dorm that I think is like funded by her rich family. So like everyone who lives in the dorm is also like related to her rich family. And she gets assigned a bodyguard, and the bodyguard is just entirely in love with her and is significantly older than her.
No.
And she is like, what the fuck? Because as it turns out, she is not a particularly likable person. She is incredibly cold towards basically everyone. But that's because it's kind of a defense mechanism for bullying, because she's been bullied a lot. So she's harsh and standoffish. But this guy who is now her bodyguard is basically saying, yeah, I love you, I worship you. And then she's like, no, get away from me. And that's kind of like how the story starts. So yeah, that's the age like milk, I would say, thing, which is older guy advancing on a younger girl when she's like, nope, I'm not having any of this. That's yikes. But
sure, but does it like stick to that, or is it more, or is that only just...
So is
this an Umineko situation where they include some really pervy shit at the start that has no bearing on the story and doesn't come up later?
No, but I'm not going to say there's no pervy bit in it. Actually, just a second. I'm kind of curious about the author of this series. Oh, shit. They actually got another series of theirs animated recently.
Oh, cool.
I didn't watch this, but now I'm kind of curious, because I do like Inexplicable SS. So anyway, to not give away the first episode too much, the guy who's been assigned to be her bodyguard, he doesn't superficially like her. He has a reason for liking her, and it's a pretty good reason. But she doesn't know what that reason is at the start of the series.
Well, since you brought this up when I bring up reincarnation story, it's probably reincarnation.
Actually, it isn't.
Oh, okay.
There is reincarnation elements, but that is not why he likes her. Oh, okay. Actually, it could be a thing of like the what's the clamp two characters, Sakura and the other guy, and they're like reincarnated and always together kind of thing. It might be like that, but that isn't why he likes her.
Sure. You know, red thread of fate kind of shit.
No, it isn't. Well, okay. Oh, sorry. The red string of fate thing may or may not exist. Why he likes her is entirely unrelated to that.
Okay, yeah.
And I would say that like that kind the romance, because it does go in the romance direction between them, and I thought it's good. I'm not saying it's perfect. I don't think it's perfect. Like I said, there's some bad jokes in it, and
I'll consider it.
Yeah.
You seem to be hyping it up.
Yeah, because well, what I'll say is just watch the first episode, because
Yeah.
I don't want to give away the other aspect of the story, and it's a huge aspect of the story.
Okay.
This is
it's
like
one of
a
those-
school live.
Yeah,
This
school
is
life kind
like
of
a school
situation.
Yeah, like there's another shoe, and I haven't dropped it yet.
It's good to watch the first episode blind, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
I could spare it.
But you will get like a little bit of gross fan service and a guy being a little too creepy towards a little girl. Well, teen girl, not. But she's short for her age, but still. 15 years old. There, I checked her age. And he's like in his like early 20s.
I don't know if it was a translation thing or what, but the manga translation I was reading and the anime translation I was watching had different ages for the main character. And I don't like that, because they kept like the main like girl the same age. So the main girl's 16 and the protagonist is 18 in the manga and 20 in the anime. And I'm like, why did you make him 20? That's like a much bigger age gap. I don't get it.
Weird. Did he like drink alcohol or something? And
Yeah,
they're like, can't have that.
He was drinking alcohol, so it's like.
That's probably it then. That has to be it. It's literally we can't have underage drinking.
It's the age of
it's
drinking.
They somehow censored an age gap into larger. That's crazy. I can believe it. People are dumb. That sounds like something somebody would do.
Time to beat this fucking dragon, finally.
Age gap romances are weird.
Yeah.
I don't actually like hate them. I think they can be done well, and like I know what my favorite one is, and it's definitely Usagi Drop adjacent. Though I don't think it's that bad.
Jeez.
Yeah, Usagi Drop is oof.
Sure is.
It the first half is good.
Yeah, it was really cute, and then oh no.
Yeah, I was talking to a friend about Usagi Drop actually, and apparently basically the reason that it went in the romance direction after, I like kind of forgive it for doing it after learning the reason, but it's still not a great reason. Basically, the author, she was self-inserting onto the girl, and she just had a thing for the dude, and so she wanted them to be a couple later.
Oh.
I'm just like, man, it sucks that that's the reason, but like, I at least get it. Like, man, I can understand liking your OCs and wanting them to kiss. Like, that's not, you can't hate that. But like,
but still,
the fact that it's a manga that people consume, yeah, you do.
This isn't fanfic either, like.
Yeah, you didn't pull a Sword Art Online half chapter thing.
This wasn't a web novel that you didn't think anyone would ever read.
Yeah.
Yeah, beat Volvagia.
Nice.
This is like the first boss I encountered, and it's like the second last boss in the game, so I was not ready to fight it earlier on.
Have you fought Thunderbird yet?
No. I guess that's technically the second last. Actually, wait, no, that's like an extra boss in this mode. But anyway.
Thunderbird is like the only boss that I know is in this game. When you said Volvagia, I was like, wait, that's an Ocarina of Time boss.
Yeah. In the English, the official name in the English manual was Barber. I don't know how that happened. It's Volvagia in the Japanese.
It's an old lady. Fight the old lady.
It's like Bodabagia in Japanese, and the local was like, that's too many syllables. I'm calling it Barber.
Man, translation decisions, they're still not doing great, but they were worse before, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's the 80s, you know. The standards were a lot different. Well, not 80s.
That's like the people translating just didn't speak Japanese. that sounds like a thing you would do. I obviously Google isn't a thing, but like you Google translate the name, and then it's like Barbagia. It's like But sure, Bob. Let's go with that.
Bob. Anyway, why Thunderbird? It's just interesting. Did that stick in your mind for some reason?
I remember watching a speed run of the game at GDQ, and they talked about how difficult Thunderbird was and the strategy for beating it.
Fair enough.
And that just stuck in my head.
I think it's kind of a unique design for a boss, and I wish they'd bring it back for another Zelda game.
I mean, I feel like there's spiritual versions of it, like maybe the Helmara King in Wind Waker.
Mm. Well, I think the idea is it's meant to be like a mechanical thing, like the Guardians.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then
Giant metal bird.
the Sacred Beast Varudanya, is that the name?
I guess that's the closest thing we have, yeah. Anyway, yeah, the problem is the bosses are shuffled, so I don't know what dungeons I've done. I've definitely done the Labyrinth one. I think I've done the Island one, so I probably haven't done this one yet. Yeah, that seems right. Oh, I'm sure I did the... Oh, I don't know anymore. Ah. I need to keep notes. I need to write this down. I'm going to get confused. So what are we 100% sure I've done? I've done... Maze Island done, because I just checked that. And I just beat Papara Desert. Alright, well, we're going all through them now.
Which dungeon was it where you did the 3 rematched knight horseback dude in a row?
Yeah, that was... I'm pretty sure that was the ocean dungeon. I'm sure I got to the boss for that one. I'm like, yeah, I did. I fought the guy on the horse. Yeah.
Because the weakest version was the last one.
Yeah, I remember that. Yep, you're right. I'm sure that was it. But then my numbers aren't adding up, because I swear I've like done at least another dungeon, but it's got 3 gems there. Oh well, we'll figure it out. But yeah, like, Spirit Circle's been incredibly heavy, but I feel like it's gonna have a happy ending because Mizukami writes happy endings, is what I've noticed. Like, he seems to be a writer that loves, you know, indulging in the, you know, the heavy shit of humanity, like, but then, like, coming out with, like, a positive take on it all. It seems to be what he's really good at. And I love stories like that. When you can do it well, it's extremely cathartic. You know, I'm getting so sick of doomer stories at this point in my life. It's just, I want a writer that can, like, look at everything and say, no, here's how the world can be.
Yeah, that's basically why I haven't started watching Dead Demons DDD Destruction. Because I know that author, and I'm like, I never read Oyasumi Poon Poon, but I don't need you to know that it isn't for me.
Yeah.
It's not like a condemnation of it. I think it's probably one of the greatest manga ever. Like, in Bakuman, the manga that's about writing manga, they, like, directly call out Oyasumi Poon Poon as the greatest manga ever.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So that's basically like the Death Note authors explicitly saying Oyasumi Poon Poon is the real shit.
Take that as you will.
I mean, I don't think they have bad taste in manga. I think they just have bad taste. I will defend Bakuman. I cannot defend Death Note, but I can defend Bakuman.
And that other anime he did, manga he did.
I will not talk about Platinum End.
Yeah, Platinum End, that one.
Yeah. Boy, is that not good.
Fucking Mother's Basement's video on that anime was extremely fascinating. The dude the dude had some interesting takes. He's like, this is bad, but also good. There's some value in its bad media.
Yeah, because I mean, like, it is the Death Note author duo, right? Like, they can make excellent shit. Like, I don't think it is an understatement to say Death Note is one of the greatest manga of all time. I don't think that is, like, that's not news. Like, I mean, I might not be saying top 5, but like top 50 for sure, I think.
Yeah, it's just a really solid like, premise with really solid execution. It's got problems. It's not perfect, but
those problems were its length. It wanted to end with the Light and L conflict, and because it was the most popular manga in Shonen Jump at the time. Yeah. So they were like, no, please keep it going, and then they did, and it got worse. So like, well, and like they directly the final manga that the artist writer duo, just like, again, literally Bakuman is them writing their life story. Like that's what Bakuman kind of is. So the final manga. Wait, do you know the premise of Bakuman? Like, overarching premise?
Yes. I know it's about making manga. It's like, you know, isn't like a manga also takes on like a young apprentice or something like that, or?
No. Oh, so okay. So I'll give. The premise is young dude who is great at art, loves drawing at his uncle's place, and his uncle is a art author that was serialized in Shonen Jump with a gag manga, and the young kid is actually a better artist than his uncle already, and his uncle is like huge expectations for him. And then his uncle dies, and it's because of overwork. But the main character is actually convinced that his uncle killed himself, that it wasn't overwork, because at the time he wasn't being serialized in Shonen Jump, so how could it have been overwork? So he gives up he wanted to be a manga artist, but he gives it up. And then skip ahead 5 to 10 years, I'm not really sure how much, but like skip ahead time, he's now in high school, and there's a girl in class that he has a crush on. And he draws a picture of her in kind of a manga art style, and forgets it in his desk. And then when he goes back to check on his desk after school, the smartest kid in class is sitting there and is basically like, hey, you should be a manga artist for me and I'll write the stories. And he's basically says, fuck no, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
And then basically the artist guy, or not artist guy, sorry, the smart guy basically says, hey, come with me to a place, I want to show you something, or something like that, and gets him to meet up with him. Then they end up going to the girl that that main character has a crush on, and goes to her house and starts talking to her. And he's like, what the fuck? Why are we talking to her? And then writer guy is like, hey, so I heard that you were trying to become a voice actress. And then she says, yeah, I've been taking voice acting classes, blah, blah, blah. And then the writer guy basically gets the artist guy to say that they would be a manga duo together. And then the main character blurts out, if we become a popular manga author and you become a voice actress and our manga gets made into an anime, will you marry me? And she closes the door and runs away. And it's just like, oh god, what did I just say? What the fuck? and then she buzzes them outside where we had said hello with the buzzer, and she says, meet up until their dreams come true. So
sorry, I missed that last bit.
Sorry, she says yes to marrying him, but only after their dreams of becoming manga author with an anime with her voice acting the main heroine. Only when that dream comes true, will they meet again and get married. And that's kind of how the story starts, with the artist guy being like, "Okay, I'm on board with becoming a manga author with you now." Well, actually, he's like, "I'm on board with becoming a manga author. I didn't say you."
Sorry, I need to stop you, Lobo. You're cutting out a lot. We're having some Discord issues. I'll change the location of the channel.
Testing.
That sounds better.
Okay. So, sorry, what cut out with what I said?
I got you said she agreed to marry.
Okay, she agreed to marry him, but only after their dream of manga duo makes an anime and she voices the main heroine. It's only after that, and they're not allowed to meet each other at all until then. And so, the artist guy is like, "Okay, I'm gonna make a manga now," but and then the writer guy's like, "Yeah, we're gonna make a manga together," and then artist guy's like, "I did not agree to doing it with you." But they do eventually start working together, because the writer guy starts giving out ideas, and artist guy's like, "Oh wow, those are actually really cool ideas." And then they start making manga together, and then 75 episodes later, anime happens, and she is the heroine, and they get married. The end.
Let's see.
And it's later clarified that she also had a crush on the main character, which is why she was willing to agree to marrying him out of nowhere.
Sure.
And like, I'm not going to say Bakuman doesn't have problems. I think these authors have a tendency to be a little misogynistic with their writing.
Yeah.
And that's definitely true in Bakuman. But like, it's in the aggressively shonen kind of misogyny way. Like a woman wouldn't understand what a man dreams and blah blah blah, that kind of bullshit. But like it's not a deal breaker. It's just kind of like, I mean, like, I get the sentiment at least. Like, it's not like it's misogyny, but it's not like trying to be malicious, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, I think like Platinum End and Death Note have way more malicious misogyny in them.
Sure.
There's actually some like fairly well written female characters in Bakuman, so I don't hate it.
Okay.
And like, Bakuman is I think it's in my top 10 still, favorite anime of all time. But like, it is very hard to recommend, because it's like, it's got some bad aging in it. And honestly, like, the friend of mine that I was talking, or I'm gonna say it's Tenchi, and that's the person I usually am talking to anime shit about. And he kept mentioning things about Oshinoko and how it was being like going deep dive into industry stuff. And I was just like, yeah, I knew this already. Yep, this is all stuff that's been done before Bakuman did all of this. And like, even in I forget, do you watch videos from Totally Not Mark?
Yeah.
Did you watch his recent video about the most popular manga of all time, or whatever thing?
The big three?
Like, what the big three video, yeah.
I linked that to you.
Right. Okay, so yeah. So I knew that Mark was gonna talk to that person about the surveys.
Yeah.
Because that's actually a huge plot point in Bakuman, where they're like, how do we make a popular manga? And the way they decide to do it is, they don't want to write a manga that everyone will like. they want to write a manga that 2 out of 10 people who do the interview will fucking love. Now, they'll put it as number 1 because like the way that the votes were weighted, it's only the top 3, and anything else doesn't get factored into the. So, like you can list your top 5 favorites, but only the top 3 are counted. So they basically wanted to get as many top 3 or higher, well, in the top 3 placements as possible. And the way to do that is to not make something that everyone will like, but instead make something that a subset of people will love, and like go out of their way to vote like that. And that is almost definitely how Death Note got made, right? Like, Death Note was something entirely different from Shonen Jump, and like you can still feel the influence of Death Note in Shonen Jump today. I think both Chainsaw Man and Jujutsu Kaisen are hugely impacted by Death Note with how dark their content is.
Yeah, absolutely. And like, I feel like that's actually a really healthy way to do it. Like, I think feels like most media companies are more willing to put stock in like hard sales and just focus on mass market. Whereas like something like this actually encourages diversity of art and like progression of art, and like not just sticking to the same things all the time. And and you're gonna get more stuff. Like by appealing to those niches, you just get better stuff. Like you get better art. It's
or not even appealing to niches, just write what you want to write.
Sure. That's what I mean.
That can go horribly. That can go really bad. But it can also go like, I think Madoka is the example of someone who just wrote what they wanted to write. But Genrobuchi saw magical girl shit and was like, I have an idea. And he didn't. I don't think Genrobuchi expected Madoka to be popular.
Yeah.
And it ended up being popular because it said some real shit, and it was a very different take on magical girls. Like I'm not going to say the dark magical girl stuff hadn't happened before that. Like, I think it is, like, to a lesser extent, Symphogear was a little bit before Madoka. And then I think Nanoha and maybe Cardcaptor Sakura are, like, in the darker category of magical girl stuff.
Yeah, I mean, everything's, like, trying to push boundaries a little bit more. Like, what can we get away with when still being, like, a kid's show or still being a magical girls show? But yeah, like you said, it's all about encouraging artists to make things that they want to make, and then that passion will ring through and appeal to might not appeal to everyone, but it will create like lifelong fans, like loyal fans. That's really what you want when you're, trying to build a manga empire, basically.
Yeah, wait. The bubble did the stick to the floor thing again.
Whoa, I bounced it on the potion. That was weird.
It's a bouncy potion.
So something weird's going on. I swear I've done this dungeon before, but it's like not counting as completed. Strange.
Those spear guys seem terrible.
I'm just gonna beeline to the exit. I think it's this way. This dungeon's really big and complicated, but I think I'm going the right way. Is it up?
When you leave
right.
enter, when you leave a dungeon and re-enter it, do all the doors relock?
No.
Okay.
Maybe I didn't
so at least you're
dungeon.
Unlocking doors. Yeah, I was gonna say, like, if the doors don't relock, you definitely haven't been here before.
That's just... No, I did this, boss. I did. What the fuck? Why am I doing it again?
Maybe it's the harder version?
No, something's happened. We're wrong with my save file. It's so weird.
Oh wait, actually, yeah, look at your, like, stats. You were 888 before, weren't you?
You're right! I've regressed! What's happening? That's so weird. Well, oh well, I did it now.
Do you still have everything that you had before? I mean, I guess you
have the
were a
important
permanent
stuff.
chicken. You were a permanent chicken, weren't
Yeah,
you?
I don't have the perma chicken anymore. I noticed that. Oh well. We ball.
At least you know where like everything is. So
Hmm.
if you have to recollect stuff, then
That
it's not gonna be
explains
an
why
issue.
things weren't lining up. So I've got 2 more dungeons left. So desert's done. Swamp is done. Island is done. Maze is done. And we thought the ocean dungeon was done, but I guess it might not be. We'll have to go back there now. I'm gonna get the perma chicken again as well.
The best mode. Well, I mean, I guess it gives you more stream content. You were saying maybe you were unhappy with only having
Yeah,
like a little bit more to go.
fuck it. Just hope I don't keep you up too late.
I still got a couple hours.
Yeah.
It's just my appointment with the psychiatrist is
Oh god.
coming, and that's why I have to sleep.
No, chicken.
Rip.
There we go. Yeah, I mustn't have saved properly last night. Whoopsie.
You know, you're talking about Bakuman. If you enjoy Death Note, you will enjoy Bakuman. That's how I would put it. It's complete. It's way less dark, obviously. Like it's. I mean, it's kind of a drama comedy thing where that's not at all what Death Note is. I hope that's not a comedy.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's just like I basically instead of writing Death Note, they decided to write literally like weird, like a non-true to life version of their lives, basically, which is why it sucked to me. I am sad that it seems like people like Death Note is the thing they're known for, when I feel like Bakuman should be the thing they're known for, just because I think it's just better. And
Yeah. Did it
when
ever get
authors,
an anime adaptation?
what? That's what I've been talking about. I haven't read the manga for Bakuman.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. It's anime. Oh, and you're gonna love the 2 voice actors.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, the main character is Atsushi Abe, and
Wow.
the writer guy is Satoshi Hino, I think.
Okay, you're gonna have to remind me who they voiced.
Toma and Hamazura.
Oh, shit. I should at least have Toma's voice memorized by now.
And it's totally like the Toma voice too, actually.
Awesome.
But yeah, so you're gonna enjoy that, I think. You're definitely gonna hear Toma talking the entire time, and there's a lot of narration. They talk a lot, so you're gonna get a lot of that.
Yeah.
But like, I guess between the 2 things that I've kind of just suggested at you, Expoku SS and Bakuman, definitely I'm recommending Bakuman way more. But also, I would say go for Expoku SS first, because at least you can drop that one faster and finish it faster. It's a 1 core anime, whereas Bakuman is 6 cores. It's 75 episodes total.
So I forgot to get the power chicken. Whoopsie.
You gotta get the cock ending.
I hope it's available on New Game Plus, which is what I'm playing at the moment.
I don't know why it wouldn't be. In fact, it seems like something that would be only available in New Game Plus, if anything.
Yeah. Chicken die. Come on, yes. Alright,
What are some other what are some other niche anime that are good?
Time to fight this dude again.
Have you watched Space Brothers?
No. I know Mother's Basement loves that one.
Oh yeah, and it's I believe it's finally getting more anime. It got announced.
Okay.
Because I think the manga finished, and so they're like gonna complete it now.
I keep missing.
But yeah, there's some cool bits of lore for Space Brothers, or like interesting trivia. Like Space Brothers has in it the first ever recorded voice acting from outer space.
Oh, nice.
Mm-hmm. They actually got like astronauts.
It was done for. It was done for the anime.
Yeah, done for the anime.
Oh
and
shit! That's awesome.
It was recordings of actual astronauts who were living on the International Space Station. They got to record a thing for the anime.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm. And if you didn't know, the entire thing about Space Brothers is two brothers who swear they're going to become astronauts, and then skip ahead like 25 years or something like that, and one of them is becoming an astronaut and the other one is like a used car salesman.
Right.
And then that brother was the older one who's the car salesman kind of thing. That might not be the exact job, but he gets fired from his job and then sees a thing saying that he could try one more time to enter
This is Kaiju number 8.
Kind of, yeah.
Kaiju number 8 kind of stole this idea, I guess.
Yeah. It's like early 30s guy gets his chance to one last chance to try and become an astronaut.
Yeah. And
then it's basically him going through the entire process of becoming an astronaut. You get to like see everything that goes into that and all the stages, and it's all cool. I'm fairly certain it's all true to life. So like every bit of it is a real thing.
Nice.
And I'm a huge fan of space exploration stuff, so
Wait. Oh no! Oh no! I fucked up! Ah! Oh no! No! I gotta get back to the start of the dungeon. You gotta like conserve your magic for this dungeon, otherwise you can't go to the final room.
Nah. So what's a weird niche anime that you know that's really good?
Planet With. What else? I mean, like, you've seen the F animes, haven't you?
Yep.
I love those.
And it might be, or actually, I think F A Tale of Memories is my favorite Shaft anime.
Yeah, solid pick. I would probably agree.
Though I'm very far behind on the Monogatari series. I think the Monogatari series could, like, maybe make it in, at the very least, like, I love the music. Well, I love Satoru Kosaki's music in the Monogatari series.
Mm.
He's not there anymore, which is
Yeah.
that makes me sad. But I mean, he's still making crazy good music in anime.
Monogatari is very good, but I think F just hits a little bit harder for me. But it's a completely different writer, you know, completely different kind of story. Well, they only really share an anime studio. Oh god. Wow, I got fucked in that room. Holy shit.
The toasty red water. But yeah, I do clarify. I don't mean that F A Fairy Tale of the Two is my favorite Shaft anime. I mean Memories is my favorite. Melodies is a little much. I like smiling, and that's not a smile.
Melodies is very heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, I think both are heavy, but like it's heavier.
Melodies definitely has more of a bittersweet ending to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you put me on the spot a bit. If I had, like, my... Whoa, no! Chicken, please! Chicken, please!
Oof.
This dungeon sucks.
Deep fried chicken.
Oh. Come on. Okay.
You should probably farm magic if you can.
No, it's not too easy.
Can you just like leave and re-enter a room and kill an enemy repeatedly to get a drop?
Yeah, but they're kind of infrequent. I'm nearly there, I think.
Do you have enough magic?
I do, but as long as I don't die.
Well, then don't die.
Good advice.
Oh, actually, speaking of going back to Bakuman and pointing out the Index voice acting cast, also Accelerator is in there too as one of the main
what
characters.
The hell? These three just they always come together.
Yeah. Basically, it's the main rival of the two main characters, who is a like maybe the second most, or like there's the two main characters, the love interest, and then the main rival, not villain but rival. And yeah, the main rival is Nobuhiko Okamoto. And he's definitely making ridiculous sounds.
God, how do you feel about that recent My Hero episode that like was kind of doing a shitty commentary on Black Lives Matter?
I mean, like,
it's not great.
I just point a finger at the Detroit Become Human video from Mother's Basement. That's just like that says all the things that I would say about what it's doing. But like it's not. It isn't malicious, so I can't like it's trying to send a good message.
Yeah,
so,
yeah, it's just kind of ignorant.
Yeah.
But it's exactly the kind of messaging I would expect from the My Hero author, though.
Yeah.
It tracks with what he's all about. But also the fact that they just kind of brought this up out of nowhere is a bit alarming. Like, oh yeah, you know, heteromorphs, racism is a huge issue in hero society, and these two characters in particular really care about it because they're heteromorphs. It's like, where has this been in the story before now? Like, barely been a thing.
I think that the author has been pressured to end the series for a while, and that's why all of this stuff is just showing up now. Because I think that they were planning to like have them living in the school and doing school things for longer, and then it was going to like naturally come out in an arc while they were still in school. But because they're just it's a boss rush is what's going on right now, and this current conflict is literally like the thing that ends the manga, right? It ends on this conflict, from what I understand. So like, I get it then. It's like, look, they weren't given enough time. That's all this really was.
Yeah.
So I don't blame the author for it's not good writing, but like why it isn't good isn't their fault, is how I'll put it.
Yeah.
Because like the dude never showed his face. Like it's not like that it was random, but yeah, no, I think that this bit of the story was planned from the beginning. It was always going to include this aspect of racism, and like it would have been handled better if given more time.
Yeah,
but
maybe.
like it's not malicious, so I'm not gonna hate it.
Fair enough.
But like there are better ways to tell this story.
Yeah, definitely.
But also there are way worse. Like to Detroit Becoming, there are way worse ways to tell this story.
Of course. Yeah, you're right. So yes, my hero is propaganda, but it could be worse. Come on, let me in your home. Thank you.
Just punching her. Let me in her home. Whack, whack. Let me in.
Apparently the town I haven't got the spell from yet. What comes after Fairy? So that'd be like the 5th town, so... Right, yeah. Can't remember which one that is, but we'll figure it out. One more dungeon.
Oh yeah, the stepsister anime that I was talking about before. Watch this most recent episode. I am still unsure if it's gonna go in the romance direction, but it's like, if it doesn't, I'll be impressed. Basically, the most recent episode was her basically talking about why she likes the main character. And then at the end of the episode, the main character's like, shit, I like her. And then she immediately draws a line and says, yeah, you're my brother, we're not doing this, more or less. So I'm like, so you just manufactured drama for no reason, and now they're gonna just romance later? But if it doesn't do that, I'll be impressed. I'll be like, wow, you actually didn't have them do a romance even though they both liked each other. That's impressive. I need to give credit for that. But I don't expect that anymore. I expect it to just be bad and not worth anyone's time, other than to watch a good director, because I think it's really well directed.
Go, chicken, go! Arr! There we go. Can't remember the layout of this dungeon very well. Is this the right way? I'll find out sooner or later. That's weird.
So in this, all the enemies are randomized, or?
Yep. Nope, this is a
I mean, the ones, the skeleton dudes that were falling from the roof seemed like that was meant to be. Or are they not? Do they not count?
I don't know. They... Maybe they don't count.
I haven't started on A Tree, My Dear Moments yet. I will let you know if a visual novel anime was good. I mean, I guess we have Summer Pockets to look forward to.
That's true.
I hope that's good.
Can they get it right this time? Is the question.
It is gonna be very hard for it to fuck up, I think.
Okay.
Just with how back to key visual novels it is, I don't expect the anime to not do what Air, Canon, and Clan had already did.
Okay.
I just expect it to be more of that. Because that's kind of what it is. It's just more of that. That's just the tagline for Summer Pockets.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk too much about it because I know you haven't read it yet.
Yeah.
But I have opinions. I want to share them still.
It's funny how you've like only read 2 key VNs, and one of them is one of the very few I haven't read.
Have I only read 2?
Right? Rewrite in Summer Pockets, yeah?
I've read a little bit of Canon and Clannad.
Okay.
But like, just a little. The Canon was a little too old looking for me, and the Clannad.
That's why it's good. You read Canon for the nostalgia.
Yeah, but they're like doing remakes of visual novels. So like, I don't know. Like I would read a canon with updated art and visuals and shit.
But hold on, it's good.
I mean, it is. I'm not saying it is. Like, look, at the moment that I actually devote my time to enjoy it, and like, even if they do a re-release, but like, let's say it has an option for the old art, I think there's a decent chance that I'd turn on the old art when I play through it. But it is something that I want to decide for myself. I want to be able to actually compare them and decide between them which I like more, because that is just like I don't think I'm being biased when I say I want to see both and decide which I like between them, right?
Sure.
Like, I that's what I did with Higurashi. I was watching a streamer friend play through it, and she was swapping between the different art styles, and I was like, you know what? I prefer Ryukishi's art to the new art. It was just like it's way more expressive. It's just Is it goofy ham hands? Yes, it is. But like the art that they used instead just doesn't carry across the same emotions.
Yeah.
But like, if you asked me, do I think an art can exist that isn't Ryukishi's that can carry across those emotions just as well, if not better, and also be better art, I would say absolutely that can exist. I just haven't seen it. I would.
Have you seen the sprites for Kikonia?
Yeah. You shared a lot of screenshots.
Because what they do there is like they have Ryukishi do like the design, and then like they have another artist like touch it up to make it look a little bit more professional. And I think that's a really good compromise, because you still get like the Ryukishi expressiveness of the sprites, but they just look a little bit more like professional quality.
I didn't know that was a thing. I just thought that he improved as an artist.
Nah. Well, he has improved, but yeah, he's getting help.
I've been thinking about doing art.
Oh.
I have a pencil and a whiteboard here with a piece of paper stuck to it with a magnet to draw on. I used to draw a lot in school. It was just when high school hit, you had the choice between doing art and doing music, and I chose music.
Yeah.
but I wanted to do both. And
No.
drama, music, and art were your choices. And
Yeah.
I would have chosen all three. I
Yeah,
like
honestly.
all of those things.
I hate how society's like, no, you can only do one. Fuck that shit. Let people be multi-talented. Let people live their lives.
Mm-hmm. But like before that, I like would draw a lot, and I would even like draw pictures for like my teachers and stuff. And like I remember like visiting the office of one of my teachers after like 5 years. I drew them something at the start of high school, and then I visited them in their office for an unrelated thing like 5 years later, and it was still in their office hanging up on the wall.
Aww. That's like so sweet.
That was one of the good teachers.
Aww.
I had a lot of bad ones, but he was one of the good ones.
Yeah.
That's Mr. Anderson, the English teacher.
Shout out to Mr. Anderson.
Mm-hmm. I loved him as a teacher so much. He's like really great sense of humor, but also like when teaching, he's no nonsense, and like that's just such a fun combination. Like he had like a binder full of jokes that if he finished whatever he was teaching early, he'd be like, okay guys, for the next 15 minutes, I'm gonna read from this funny shit, and then he just would make everyone laugh, and it'd be great. But like the no nonsense bit was also great, because basically what he said was, in his class, I don't give a shit if you don't listen to me, but do not interrupt me. Like if you want to just do like play video games in class and ignore me and just do your own thing, go ahead. If you think you can pass doing that, go for it. If you fail, I don't care, but don't interrupt me.
It's kind of awesome, actually.
Yeah, he's a base teacher.
And really, yeah, it's just treating students as adults, you know, not as children.
And the reason I was visiting him is actually partly because he moved on from being an English teacher, and he was actually the vice principal of the school at the time.
Oh, wow.
He might even be like the principal of the high school now. I have no idea.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. Either way, that's one of the good teachers. I had a lot of bad teachers, a lot of bad experiences with teachers in school.
Oh my god, there's been 5 of these magic upgrades in this single dungeon. That's insane.
More magic.
Oh god, oh man, oh god.
More fish.
Bonefish things.
They're cheaps that died.
Yeah, they are. They really are.
This is what they look like after Mario is done with them.
I would be surprised if it uses the same code from Super Mario Bros. For the jumping out of the.
I mean, their tails are wiggling in the exact same way. I think it's the same enemy. Because there's enemies in this game that are also just Castlevania enemies too, right?
There's those Medusa head kind of things.
Yeah, that's the one that I was thinking of. That's very clearly, that's a Castlevania enemy. They just put the Castlevania enemy in this game.
I'm sure different companies, so they're probably not sharing code, but definitely inspired. Apparently Miyamoto was really ashamed of this game. Oh no, maybe not necessarily ashamed, but I remember there was an interview where it's is there one game you're really wish you could have done better? And he's like, Zelda 2. I always feel like I could have done better with that game. Which is really interesting.
I mean, but just based on popular opinion, this is the worst Zelda game, right?
I wouldn't say it's the worst, it's just a lot of people haven't played it and don't care about it because it's weird. What would be the worst Zelda game? I guess not counting spin-offs. Skyward Sword is probably the most hated.
I don't know. I feel like it's Zelda 2. Just the things that you have to do in this game are so unintuitive if you don't have a guide.
The bar is so high for Zelda games.
I mean,
So maybe.
I think that there is a lot of cool exploration in Zelda, the original Zelda game. That is like cool and mysterious and like it's done great. This game, it's like, oh, you didn't go into this one house and talk to this one NPC. Guess your game is like you can't progress. Period.
Zelda
And,
1
like-
has that too. I mean, it has like heaps of like dungeons you can only access by like setting fire to a very specific tile on the map. Like,
Yeah, but like, I think it's this game is more than that game, and more of that makes it worse.
maybe. There's a really big difficulty spike early in the vanilla game for Death Mountain. And I think that's what turns a lot of people away from this game. Oh, this is the fountain place. Okay, this is where I wanted to be, actually. Cool. It's not this building.
But if you're talking like recent memory, then yeah, it's Skyward Sword. But like, if you're asking like, if you forced a person to play every single Zelda game without any guide, which would they hate the most? It would be Zelda 2. I don't think it would be close.
You don't think it'll be Zelda 1?
I don't think it'd be Zelda 1. I think, like, okay, I guess the question is, are they being forced to play them in chronological order, like release order? If so, then I'm saying Zelda 2 will be the most hated, and that'll literally be because they played Zelda 1 first and then they played Zelda 2. they don't if this person has never played a Zelda game and you're forcing them to play every single one without a guide, no hints, nothing, then yeah, I think they would probably, like, there would be like a 10-hour stretch of time in Zelda 2 where they would be just not know what to do.
There's like, yeah, there's two things in Zelda 2 which really like are very cryptic, I think. There's the crossing the river at the start of the game. That shit's pretty heinous. And that's what was I gonna say? Yeah, so like you need to like find a specific tile in the forest, but it's a relatively small area. I feel like if you like spend enough time, you would find it. The thing
Yeah,
that
no, I think if you slam your head against the wall enough times, the wall will break.
and there are hints. Like I think there's like my friend is in the forest. I think someone says that. But yeah, like there's definitely a few things. Oh yeah, there's like a quest where you like need to like someone's lost their mirror and you need to like look under a table in someone's house. That's a bit much.
But I think that if you tell the person, this hypothetical person who's playing these games, hey, make sure you pay attention to the NPC dialogue, then I count that as a hint. I count that as that isn't, like, that's not what the player would have experienced who bought this game and didn't have the internet and went home with this game and played it.
Because
Like-
I can speak because I played this game as a kid without the internet. But I did have my parents, who, and as I understand it, like they spent months with this game, just bashing their head against it to figure shit out. And that's what games were back then when you didn't have Nintendo Power. It was just like, a game could last you literal months because you're just trying to figure out the solution to one small cryptic puzzle. And that's kind of shit.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, that like, even if you have this person who you're forcing to play this game, and again, you're not giving them any hints, even read the NPC dialogue hint, then I think that there is going to be a chunk of 10 hours where they are going insane, and like the recording of them playing is just them doing progressively weirder things.
Yeah.
And then they'd like I just have an image in my head of a person who's like in their microphone talking to the NPCs as they each click on them, reading their dialogue in silly voices, and then they're like, wait a second, my friend is in the forest? I didn't try anything in the forest. Let me go check there. And that's the after 10 hours, they have figured it out.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh my god, I fucking hate this game. That's their takeaway from that.
But like, I think both Zelda 1 and Zelda 2 are almost impossible without a guide. Almost. There's like one bit in Zelda 2 which literally definitely got me stuck as a kid for years. I just could not
Right,
figure it
but
out.
what? Right, but Zelda was the first one. It gets to be like, oh, you can forgive mistakes it makes, but Zelda 2 makes worse mistakes, and you then don't have the forgiveness in you. You used up the forgiveness on the first one. Because, like, I could easily see somebody playing through the first one and be like, that was really rough. But you know what? I enjoyed it at the end of the day.
Mm.
And then they do Zelda 2, and then that's where I think they lose their shit. And that's where they're like, you know what? I'm happy I beat that game, but, like, fuck that game. Like, that, and I just don't, I don't think, like the sentiment, quote unquote, fuck that game. I don't think that sentiment comes in at all in Skyward Sword. I think Skyward Sword definitely has problems, but I don't think it's such large problems that it would ruin somebody's day.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think somebody would lose hours of their life to something stupid in that game.
Yeah. It's a very different
It's
kind
just
of
it's underwhelming, not overwhelming.
Yeah, sure. And of course, I think the thing that Zelda 2 has as well is the actual combat difficulty can be very tough.
Yeah.
Like, Zelda 1 does have tough combat too, but at least you can, when you're having trouble in a dungeon, you leave and you grind. Which I guess you can do in Zelda 2 as well. I don't know. They're both problematic.
Yeah,
but
they are.
I just think people don't like Zelda 2 because it's different. I think that's the main thing.
Well, that's why I think like this idea of give a Zelda, like a Zoomer that's never played a Zelda, and force them to play through every single one, and like record that and its content, and I think that. I don't know what their overall opinion would be. I just think that Zelda 2 would be the most hated one, just because I don't think there's not good reasons to hate Skyward Sword. It's just it followed Twilight Princess and Majora's Mask and Ocarina of Time. I mean, like, I would like Twilight Princess wasn't happy following those, or Wind Waker as well. Twilight Princess wasn't happy to follow those games. Because, like, they thought Wind Waker was going to be shit, right?
Mm.
Like, who was it? Which person was it that was, like, the director that was, or whatever, where they, like, strong-armed into letting the cartoony art style go through, and they hated it, and they thought it would do terrible?
I'm not sure.
Was it Aonuma?
I don't know. I don't recall that.
Yeah, it's a thing where basically they like hid the cartoony art style from him for a while because they knew he would hate it, and then they like finally showed it to him. He hated it, but
it must have been Miyamoto.
No, maybe Miyamoto then. I don't remember who it was, but it was like somebody in charge, and yeah, they had the Toon Link idea, the Wind Waker idea, and they wanted it to be dark and gritty. This isn't my Zelda. Why is it all cartoon? But they were convinced eventually, and then Wind Waker, I think, was an amazing success.
Yeah.
So again, Skyward Sword, is it as good as Twilight Princess or Wind Waker or Majora's Mask or Ocarina of Time? No. But I think it's better than Zelda 1 and 2 at least. Maybe not 1. Again, I'm holding 1 up a little bit more, but I have played neither. I am mostly.
I do think people hold 1 up in high regard because it's the first one and because it set the standard for what other games would follow. Zelda 2 is a black sheep. No other game really followed it, so it's got a lot. And it's also the second one.
It's also kind of following like Castlevania and stuff, right? Like.
Yeah, it's definitely inspired by Castlevania for sure. Inspired a little bit of Dragon Quest and a little bit of Castlevania. Like, it was definitely influenced by the other popular games at the time. Let's save.
But like, people have weird opinions about Zelda games all around. Some of the opinions I don't know how to reconcile. Like, I'm still bothered that people rated Tears of the Kingdom worse than Breath of the Wild, even though Tears of the Kingdom is just better Breath of the Wild. It's like, look, I understand why you wanted more.
We've had this debate a few times already.
Yeah, I know, but it bothers me a lot. If a game is better than one game, then you should rate the game better. It's a better game. It's math.
But no, because assessments of quality really take a lot into account. More game doesn't necessarily mean better game. It seems to be your argument.
Right. And I'm saying that it is both more and better.
I've got one more key now, so I can try this dungeon again. That's good.
Will the keys travel between dungeons?
I've got key sanity on. See if I remember the route. I think it was down here?
There's a lot of old NES games that I really like that I want to play.
Like what?
Dodgeball.
Dodgeball for NES. I haven't played that one.
Yeah, I really liked it. I played the shit out of it. And like, I definitely, like when I first played it, I had no idea what I was doing. But I eventually learned the tech and learned the good super throw moves and which teams were good, and then it's like it's a 2-player game. You can actually like fight your friends in
Oh, really?
Dodgeball. Yeah.
There aren't a lot of those.
Mm-hmm. But it's good. I like it. Definitely biased. I played I mean NES games are notoriously hard, right? Yeah. I beat the final boss in that game as a child. I played way too much of that game. But there is a secret sauce, and can you really not jump up there without jump?
I think you can, but it's tricky. Ow.
But the secret tech is double tap a direction. That's the tech, because then you start running, and then if you throw the ball if you throw the ball while running, or do a jump and throw it while running, then you get like super cool throws, and each character has a different special throw. And there's a lot of different ones.
Interesting. I should try that sometime.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember this room having spikes in it. It definitely amps up the difficulty a bit. Go, Wario, go!
Imagine this boss fight, except it's a Mega Man game.
Got it.
Imagine how awful that fight would be in a Mega Man game. Oh, you fall in the spike, you're dead, start over.
Oh, yeah. Yippee!
Level up.
So that's all the dungeons complete. Yay.
Nice.
Should I take magic, or should I spec into something else?
What are some other good NES games?
They're all good.
I guess I really liked the shooting a can thing in Hogan's Alley.
Yeah, the light gun games.
Mm-hmm. I am a crack shot at that can shooting game because like the further you get in it, the more cans you have to keep in the air constantly. And I believe I got to like 9 cans at once, and I was able to like keep them all up and before losing.
Wow, that's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely can't do that.
I don't know if I'd be able to do it now. That was like 10-year-old me.
I guess I'm just gonna go to Death Mountain. I think I have everything I need. Oh, not Death Mountain, I mean Valley of Death. A different place from Death Mountain in Zelda 1.
Mm-hmm.
I always like that how the map of Zelda 1 is just a small part of this world's map. It's good sense of continuity.
That's another good NES game.
Joy Mech Fight.
I do not know that one.
It's a fighting game that's really good. It's Japan only, but I think you can play it on NSO now. But yeah, just a really solid NES fighting game. All the characters are like robots that have like extendable limbs, like Rayman, which works really good.
Oh wait, no, I've seen that play. You put that in the?
Oh yeah, I did one of the shuffler, didn't I? Yeah.
Yeah, you did.
True. So I got some cool custom music here.
Mm-hmm. I didn't own very many NES games, so I'm struggling to remember them.
Yeah, I didn't own too many. I remember we owned one of those like 101 game cartridges. I played a lot of the old NES games on, but like some of the bigger NES games, a lot of them I didn't get to play until much later. Just gonna use all my magic.
You know what's the most frustrating game I ever played on Nintendo? And it was on N64. Hey You Pikachu.
That's
you know why it was
pretty frustrating.
Want to know what made it more frustrating? Now you're gonna be like, oh, yeah, I mean the game is already really frustrating. What could make it more frustrating?
Pikachu not listening to you, obviously.
Yep, and that is exacerbated when you're renting the game and it doesn't have the microphone.
Well, yeah.
So imagine playing Hey You Pikachu, except Pikachu never listens to you because it doesn't even know you're saying anything to it.
Aw, they should at least include the microphone in the rental. Jeez.
They did not. Blockbuster didn't do that, or probably someone kept the microphone.
Yeah.
Like people ruin things. That's just.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, Hey You Pikachu is one of the most frustrating games I've ever played because without a microphone, it's not really even playing it. Pikachu's just kind of wandering around, and I'm like so confused. I don't think so I wasn't. It's not like I was like yelling at my TV screen at the Pikachu. I just didn't understand the gameplay at all.
Yeah, so I was confused as a kid.
It's like, tell Pikachu, press this button to tell Pikachu what to do, and I would just press the button, and then Pikachu just question marks me, and I'm like, I don't understand. I told him what to do. I pressed the button.
Did you ever experience any video game corruptions while you were playing?
In Hey You Pikachu?
In any video game?
Tons of them. Like the particular. Okay, so have I ever shown you the World of Warcraft screenshots?
Nope.
Okay, so let me go find these, because basically, you're talking about corruption. Well, the computer that I was playing World of Warcraft on the time, keep in mind I'm also on dial-up playing WoW, and I cannot patch World of Warcraft at my home because I'm on dial-up. The patches are too large. So what I would do is the patch files were separate files, so I could just go to a friend's house with a thumb drive, put them on the thumb drive, and then bring them home to apply the patches to be able to play.
Mm.
But my computer at a certain point was horribly dying. And uh, the screenshots that I took, because I was like, this looks so trippy, and I was able to walk around while my graphics card melted around me, and the graphics of that I had to save, and I still have them, I believe. It might take me a little bit to find them. I'm not sure what folder they are in. But like when you mention like corruption and shit, it's like, yeah, this is the first thing that comes to mind, because it's the most corrupted a video game has ever looked to me.
I remember I had some funny weird corruptions as a kid before I even really knew what a corruption was. I just remember one time, like, I was playing some Super Nintendo game I rented, and I was getting really annoyed at the game, so I like whacked the SNES and the screen just went black and just started playing this like really weird, sexy music.
Oh.
I don't know how else to describe it. It felt like some kind of burlesque sucking performance or something, is how it described the vibe of the music. I'm just like, what the fuck is going on? I just couldn't stop laughing.
I had like a modified Nintendo, a modified NES. So like, you know how you put the cartridge in and then you slide the thing down?
Yeah.
You did, the one that I had, you didn't slide down, you just put it in.
Well, actually, mine was the horizontal one.
Mine was the normal kind that you would normally push the thing down. It's just like my uncle or something modified it to not need to be pushed down.
Right.
And there were definitely moments where like video games just straight up didn't work, and I had to like take out the cartridge, blow air in it, and put it back in. That shit.
Yeah.
And I had to do that a lot. But that's not fun corruption. That's not like I have fond memories of when my game stopped working forever. No.
Yeah.
But I guess if I'm gonna name another good memory that is a corruption, I would say Missing No in Pokemon.
Sure, that's more of an intentional corruption.
Yeah, but I mean, well, not intentional by game design, but
intentional by you.
Yeah, but that doesn't make it less cool and function. Like,
yeah.
I liked teaching the level 0 Missing No fly and then evolving it into a Kangaskhan that could fly.
It was a pretty cool, like, emergent game experience that people had, just breaking Pokemon wide open like that, yeah.
And it kept happening too. Like at least up until Gen 4, I know for a fact that there was like at least one duplication glitch, one get a bunch of items glitch. Actually, I think it's do I still remember them all? Just a second. So obviously in Red and Blue, it's the Missing No. You defeat the Missing No and you get 120 whatever of whatever item is in your 6th slot.
Yeah.
Then in Gold and Silver, I believe it's if you use the move function on a Pokemon and move them between boxes, and then when it saves, you turn it off and on. It duplicates the Pokemon across the boxes.
Yeah.
So, and then in Emerald version, at least in the Battle Tower, if you attempted to do. If you did the move a Pokemon in and out of your party, and then clicked on the like link battle in the tower to like link with a person, there'd be a weird pause where it would try and save, and if you turn it off and on during that weird pause, that would duplicate your Pokemon as well.
That sounds familiar.
And then I never played a Pokemon game after Emerald until.
Oh no, this puzzle is going to be a pain in the butt because the maps are corrupted. Oh boy, this could take a while. So I already made this dungeon a lot harder.
It's time for pen and paper.
It might be, yeah. It might actually be. Oh god.
The real RPG experience.
Oh, alright, I got the pen and paper here, let's do this.
Because I've plugged in my external hard drive. I believe that is where the WoW screenshots live. Shouldn't take too long. I'm just searching WoW. I'm pretty sure I named folder WoW. Honestly, I need to get a new external hard drive. I'm just eternally paranoid that my computer will die randomly, and then I'll lose everything on my hard drives, and I need to get like a really good external hard drive and back everything up, and then I don't know, store the external hard drive somewhere safe and not humid, and just make sure the external hard drive lives forever, and that way I never worry about losing anything. And I'll just like once a month back up shit, and then I'll be happy.
It's been ages since I've done a backup of anything. I really need to be better with that.
Mm-hmm. It's never a problem until it's a problem.
Yeah.
And I have definitely lost like years of shit because of a hard drive dying. I do have an external hard drive. It's just it doesn't have like I don't think it has enough room in it.
Time to fight some fuckers.
I used to have a Higurashi avatar. That is true.
Really?
I'm just looking. Yeah, I'm looking at it's a list of basically different avatars that I have had at one point. And it's like Haruhi, Konata, Cerno, Fuko, a really fucked up image that's a joke, but it's I still think it's funny. It's fucked up, but it's funny. Marissa, Mia from Fire Emblem, main character from Excel World, main girl from Excel World, best girl from Haruhi that isn't Haruhi, Shauna.
So who's the best girl from Haruhi who isn't Haruhi?
Have you read Haruhi?
No.
Then you have not met her yet.
Really? I didn't know there'd be interesting new characters post anime.
Oh, there are in Surprise, which is the like not the most recent Haruhi novel, but the like most recent very impactful story of Haruhi. Basically, there are like 5 new characters that are all heavily relevant. But basically, do you remember, and like I love that Haruhi author does this because he definitely plans things well out in advance. Do you remember when Kyon, this is the very beginning of Haruhi, Kyon is asking Taniguchi about Haruhi, and he's like, look, she's really weird, you should leave her alone. And then Kunikita, Kyon's other friend, is like, Kyon has always gone after the weird girls, the weirder the better.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, so Kunikita went to middle school with Kyon, and there was a girl in middle school with Kyon that is later reintroduced to the story in Surprise.
Interesting.
And she is the weird girl that Kunikita thinks Kyon likes.
Because yeah, I just thought from like all of the Haruhi anime, they pretty much introduce the cast and then don't really introduce anyone else. So I'm surprised that they're like adding new characters later in the story.
Oh, like they're at a lot of new characters actually. Like and not just in Surprise too. There's characters that are like slowly introduced throughout between Disappearance and Surprise. Oh. There are I want to say, just let me think for a little. At least like 8 new characters that are all relevant to the story and are kind of interesting characters. Some more than others. Like for example, the student council president gets introduced.
Oh yeah.
And the student council president has a problem with the literature club because that is what the SOS Brigade has stolen. They have taken over the literature club room.
Yeah.
So basically, the like school fair or whatever is happening. This might be like literally the same school fair that Haruhi does the music performance at. The short stories when they happen is weird. The when is confusing. So basically, aside from the movie that they did, by the way, I could be just like mixing up two different school fairs, but basically the student council president forces the SOS Brigade to put together basically a pamphlet of different stories because they're meant to be the literature club. So you basically get to they all just write stories, and you like get to read the stories that each character wrote too.
Okay.
And
cool.
like even like Yuki writes a story, and it's really interesting. But I couldn't tell you when chronologically that story happens. It might be before disappearance, it might be after. But I won't spoil more than that. There's more to the student council president dude than that story. But then there is I believe is that what it's called? I might be. So there's two Mikuru stories that happen, or Mikuru focused stories that happen after disappearance, and I know one of them is called The Melancholy of Mikuru Asahina.
Right.
And I don't know which it is, but basically the one that's much more. Okay, well, what the short one is Mikuru and Kyon go buy tea, and that's it. That's like the short story one, and I don't know if that's the Melancholy of Mikuru or not. But the bigger one is one where basically one day when Kyon is alone in the club room, and like for some reason nobody is there but him at the moment. There's a rattling sound coming from the utility locker. And Kyo's like, what the fuck? And then he opens the utility locker, and then inside is Mikuru. And she's like, what? I don't understand. I'm confused. And he's like, what do you mean you're confused? Why are you in the locker? And she's like, I was in there because you told me to. What? Yeah, I just time traveled. You sent me here from a week ago, or for a week from now. And Kyon is like, I did what? And she's like, yeah, you sent me here. Why did you do that? And he's like, I don't know why I did that. I did, and then Kyon is like, did I give a message for me? And she's like, oh yeah, you did. He's like, okay, what is it? She's like, you said tell the me from a week ago, hi. And then basically the rest of the novel, and because this is a full novel story, is Kyon doing weird things with Mikuru that are basically like time travel instructions to make sure certain events happen in time.
Right.
And in this story, a new character gets introduced, and they're actually. Okay, two new characters get introduced, but I don't want to talk about the second one because it kind of, if you ever do read Haruhi, I'm spoiling the end of this book, this one. But basically, a dude shows up and starts antagonizing Kyon and Mikuru, and apparently he is also a time traveler.
Oh.
And he's like an asshat, and I think Kyon he puts a nickname in his head that's like asshole or something. I forget. Just a second. Haruhi Suzumina Wiki. I just want to find. I don't want to tell you the character's name. I want to just. Oh wait, Smug Bastard. I think that's the name Kyon gives him. But yeah, I'm not sure.
Whoa! There's a button here to show me what keys I have. Oh, that's cool. What? There's a hint button? What? Oh shit.
Oof.
The meter's in a basement, the shield is in a palace. Yeah, I already got those.
Okay, I found the character. So yeah, he's basically a rival faction time traveler, a rival to Mikudu series. But I'm not going to give away more than that. But I do want to find what Kyon calls him. Yeah, sneering bastard. That's
Sneering
the,
bastard.
I was close. Kyon basically says that he's like an evil Itsuki Koizumi.
Damn.
But yeah, so the character that was my avatar for a
Ow.
while that I still haven't talked about is Sasaki. And that is girl who is introduced in Surprise. And it's actually kind of interesting how she's introduced. And I can... Nah. I'll leave it at she's the best girl in the series. And okay. It's... God damn it. There's another girl that's also introduced in Surprise that actually, like... I would coin flip on which I like more. But like, yeah, no, Haruhi is like constant. Even in the most recent novel that was after Surprise, a new character was introduced. It's basically a close friend of Tsuruya, and she just starts hanging out in the club room like semi-frequently. At least, I mean, we've only had her for one novel, but in 2 of the 3 short stories in that novel, she's just chilling in the club room. So, like, she's not an SOS Brigade member. She's kind of... Honestly, like, she's in the club room more than Tsuruya is. Because Tsuruya is just kind of, like, called in and is the Mikudu friend. But, like, this new character who's Tsuruya's friend is just, like, chilling in the club room playing detective games with Koizumi or something. Like, it's interesting. So yeah, no, Haruhi actually introduces a lot of characters throughout the series. It just feels like it doesn't... Oh,
maybe that fixed it.
Yeah, I mean, like, this is what happens when the Haruhi series, like, adapts, like, 4 and a bit books of 11. And it's like, yeah, you don't have half the picture yet. KyoAni drew a really good half picture, but it's still half a picture.
Yeah. Jeez. We've got to announce a sequel soon. New anime soon.
I mean, I think it is planned already.
It's got to be more likely than Index Season 4. It's got to be.
I mean, I don't... Why wouldn't Index Season 4 happen? I like...
Because since Index Season 3 bombed.
Yeah, but the novels are continuing to do well. Like, Day Day Live was shit for 4 seasons, and then the final one was kind of good, and then, like... I don't know, it's... Like, it bombed because of the effort they put in. They clearly didn't give it any love. Like...
Yeah, but...
It's so but, like, you can... Just, like, I would say Scientific Accelerator had more love in it than Index.
So would I.
And, like, that is just, like, okay, well, this is what happens when you don't replace people who need to be replaced. Because clearly there are good creatives who want to work on Index and can make it look really good because Railgun is really good. And, like, that's just sad. But, like... I don't think it means that we won't get more. I think it just means that, like, maybe the last we'll get of that team is what we got. And now NT is going to be a different team, or maybe just the railgun team or something. Like put actual effort into it, because I mean, we talked about this before. Index isn't stopping anytime soon, and its popularity isn't waning anytime soon.
It ebbs and flows. I think it's in a bit of a slump at the moment.
I would agree with that, but like, that doesn't mean it's bad. It's just like, I don't know. I think NT would be like the best thing to put into anime. I mean, you know who my favorite character in Index is.
Once we get to the awesomeness stuff.
Mm-hmm. So I don't. To me, I don't see a world we don't get in NT and Index. Now, do we get a entire series remake first? I couldn't tell you that, but it's clear that the books keep selling, and when books sell, they make anime of those books. That's just a fact. So, like, Index is going to get more anime. 100%. Is that going to be Idol Accelerator? I don't know. Maybe. That could happen. Who knows? Nobuhiko Okamoto can sing. Actually, when I made it recently, top 50 openings and endings, like my favorite openings and ending songs, and a song. Just a second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. My 6th favorite anime ending song of all time is sung by Nobuhiko Okamoto.
Really?
Yep. The song is This Is Yusha But Zannen, which is the ending song to If It's For My Daughter, I'd Even Defeat a Demon Lord.
Ah.
Which is also a segue to a different point I was making about age gap romances.
Oh, man.
It is the one that goes in the Usagi drop direction. But it is the one that I infinitely respect more than that, because it is very, very clear in the novel, at least. I don't know about the anime, but I mean, the anime didn't adapt further in the story to where it becomes a romance. That it was always going to be a romance, and that basically the main character treats the main girl as a daughter, but like not really, and the age difference between them is somewhat significant, but it's not actually like there are real life couples that have that kind of age gap. It's a 10-year age gap. So like literally he's not old enough to be her father, period. Like that's just not possible biologically. But sorry, you're struggling with this fight. I don't want to.
Yeah, this fight sucks. Ah, die! Got him.
Nice. So because that age get like they meet when I think she's 8 and he's 18. So like he's still taking her in and treating her like a daughter. But the reality
whoa.
he's.
Fuck my controller.
Oof.
That was weird. But this room looks awkward. This is an awkward combination of enemies on a dying bridge.
Can you hit the
This
thing
might be time for
with
chicken. I keep forgetting to get the perma chicken upgrade. Guess I need to leave and do that at some point.
It's the true ending. You have to get the true ending.
Yeah. I'll probably be leaving this dungeon sooner or later. I need the orb key. Oh, speaking of.
So basically, it only becomes a romance later. It's until then, it's kind of just like a sweet father-daughter thing, except he's not even really her. Like he's not her guardian, not really. Like he definitely treats her that way, but like the people actually like teaching her, for the most part, it's the main character lives in like the attic of a tavern, and it's basically the tavern keeper couple that raises her instead, really, because he's off being an adventurer during the day, and like at night he's being the dad, but like I don't know, he's not around as much, but she still kind of worships him, and it's clear that she loves him, but she never once throughout the entire series calls him dad. She calls him by name, and it's clear that whenever she was saying how much she loved him, I mean, when she was a little girl, she doesn't have a concept of romance, but like when she grows up, she's like, I've always loved him like this. So that's why I can look at Demon Lord Daughter and go, yeah, this I respect this a lot more and think it's a lot better written. But like, if you don't like the idea of basically the power dynamic of somebody being a guardian and then it turning to romance, like that's a bad power dynamic, and that can get really fucked up. Like, I'm not trying to say that isn't the case, but
God, this fucking room. What the fuck is this shit? There's so much going on.
I guess the way I would put it is, it's the kind of feeling like the opposite of the stepsister thing that I was mentioning earlier, where that one is like, it's artificially drumming up conflict for no reason, and it's the reason that I hate this is because I don't actually like either of these characters particularly, so seeing them be like stupid idiots about this is just like frustrating, and it's not like I don't want to see them become a couple. It's just they've told me they like each other, so now that should happen, but now they're saying no to that, and it's just like, I hate this. But in Demon Lord Daughter, once you understand her feelings, it's like, I mean, I kind of just want to see them get together because they clearly love each other, right? Like, it's the thing holding them back is actually like really interesting instead of convoluted dumb bullshit, because basically the little girl is of the demon race, and the demon race are incredibly long-lived, and the main character, he's human, so he's likely to die in the next 50 to 60 years, and she is likely to live hundreds of years. And so that is a huge aspect of the story, and like I think a romance between two people of like massively different lifespans, that's a really interesting concept. It's been done before, but I like it, and it's done well in this case.
I have nothing to add because I haven't seen it.
I mean, like, you'd enjoy it. It's not good particularly, but like you enjoyed Biscuit Hammer is what I'm saying. Like, is the anime quality really good on that series? Not really, no. I would say read the light novel, but you also are very good at spotting good writing. So I think you would maybe see the good writing in it, although they do change things. Like, the novel starts out a lot darker. Well, actually, you know what? I'll maybe spoil one thing in it, because it comments on racism.
Okay.
But I think it does it quite well, because basically I mentioned that Latina, the main girl, is of the demon race, and there are people who definitely have prejudices against demons, but that isn't...
This is the one with the fucking character named Latina. Oh no.
Why?
I heard about that on Twitter.
Oh, people were making shit about it.
Yeah, because, like, the character is like brown skinned, yeah?
No, you're thinking of a different series.
Well, it's definitely a brown skinned character named Latina.
Yeah, I believe you are thinking. If I'm not mistaken, I believe you are thinking of the wrong way to use healing magic.
Maybe.
I could be wrong.
Said multiple fucking. There is a character named Latina. Oh my
wrong
God.
way to use healing magic. But her real name is Platina, and she has platinum colored hair. So Latina is she's not going by her name because she was exiled from the demon race for crimes that she has yet to commit. Basically,
my fucking pen. That's right. I'm not really moving. God. What the hell?
okay, it is not the one I was thinking of.
There it is.
Is it El Cazador de la Bruja?
I don't know.
I just googled anime Latina and there's just one, but like, it's definitely not this one. You're thinking of a very
I
different
just remember like there was a comment by the manga that was like, "Oh, I just picked that name because I thought it was a common name in Latin America."
Okay, so this is the character that is named Latina. Like
she's definitely not brown skin.
Yeah, definitely not. It's the fact that that's her name is not at all related. And like I said, her name is actually Platina because she has platinum colored hair, and that's like a very large plot point. In fact, her nickname in the town after she's lived there for a while is the platinum haired princess. But again, she was exiled from Demon Society because fortune teller basically predicted that she would do something horrible and was exiled for a crime she had yet to commit. And she does actually commit that crime later.
Huh.
I mean, the fortune teller was accurate. That's why she was exiled.
Damn.
Honestly, like the thing that I love a lot about the series that isn't in the anime at all is it's actually incredibly dark. And I have always believed that a story that is only dark or only light is way less good of a story.
Yeah.
You can't like Jun Maeda's writing period when it's only depressing and devoid of comedy is like not very good. When it's involving the comedy, do I think Jun Maeda has a good sense of humor? Not always, but like that humor is absolutely integral to the story.
Different taste, I guess. I fucking love Maeda's sense of humor. I think he's one of the funniest creators in Japan.
Well, that's probably an agree to disagree thing. But like, I'm not saying I don't find it funny. It's just like I wouldn't say that the draw of his writing is the comedy. Is how I would put it. But like that comedy is still absolutely integral to the emotional scenes landing. Like that it can't have only depressing shit in it. I mean, it can, but that doesn't mean I'll enjoy it, even if it's good still. But so the thing that they basically cut from the anime release of A Demon Lord Daughter is a lot of the dark elements. They keep some, but they remove a lot of others.
It's a boss room? Oh, it is. Oh. Surprise Gooba fight! He's back!
This is bigger, scarier one. That attack does not animate properly. Actually, it kind of reminds me of the general attack with melee weapons in Fire Emblem Sacred Stones.
Yeah.
Where they just kind of animate a little and then the weapon just flies at them on a chain and then they like pull it back.
Oh,
I always loved that.
This is
that's
close.
Like my.
Die!
Die, monster! You don't belong in this world.
This is tense. No! Oh, that was such a close fight. Oh, I can't die down here. I'm so far, so deep in the dungeon.
You got this.
Oh, fucking spikes. Go, warrior.
Punch him.
No. Heal.
He's waiting.
Yeah. Oh. Come on. Ah. No. Heal. God, that morning star really hurts. Oh. Yeah! Oh,
Nice. Good job.
thank you. That was a tough one. Oh, the key! Yay! Yippee! So I think I have everything I need. I have the bottle. I have the key.
You need the chicken.
I don't see the monster mask. But I definitely got that last time. Oh no. I might have to look that up on the spoiler log to figure out where it is. And yeah, I need the chicken.
So yeah, the anime adaptation of Demon Lord Daughter, the reason why you might not see it as so good is because they cut a lot of they don't cut like incredibly plot important dark elements, just like some things that it's like, oh, this is a fucking dark story. Oh wait, it's got the light parts in it too. This is actually a good story. Like
it makes the light parts shine more.
Yeah, and I think that is like a really important thing in writing.
Mm-hmm.
But for example, like just to give an idea of like how dark the series is, something that they cut. Although, I mean, when you have a story written in first-person perspective and then you animate it in third person, that's always bad. Like, that's the Sword Art Online problem that irks me the most. But so when Dale, the main character, first meets Latina in the forest, he sees her and his initial reaction is like clicking his tongue. Like, shit, that's a demon. And the reason why he's reacting the way you find out later is because Dale is a hero. Like, blessed hero who defeats the demon lord kind of hero. And demons, while they are not innately like evil monster type things, that isn't what this story is about. They are more all of the servants of the demon lords that he has been fighting, they are generally all demons. But that's just because the demon lords are interesting in this series. They're actually not like good or evil. They're kind of like a mix, and there's more than one demon lord. They each represent different things for the world and are just like heroes are an important aspect of the world, but the demon lords are also important to like the gods and causality in this world. So some of the demon lords are evil monsters that kill people, but some of them are ones that just build a community and society and are like actually like kings in demon society and are not bad people. So when Dale first meets Latina, he clicks his tongue because she's a demon, but he's also like, it's a demon and a little girl. I mean, I could kill her so easily right now, but let's see what she does first. And like he like multiple times comments like I could snap her neck right now. Like it's like, wow, that's dark. And yeah, that isn't in anime at all because you have it in third person instead of first person, so you don't hear his inner monologue of, yeah, how do I dispose of her without making my day ruined? Because he doesn't like, he has a conscience, but if this is a demon who's a little girl but she is out to kill people and do bad shit, then like he has to kill her. But like killing a little girl is gonna leave a really bad taste in my mouth. I don't want to do that. But it turns out that she's just like lost her father has died in the forest that he's in, and she's been like barely surviving in the forest when he found her, and she walks up to him because he's cooking fish in the forest and she smells it, and then he decides to take her in because, like I said, he is well aware that not all demons are evil. It's just if she was evil, he would have to deal with her, kind of thing. So I don't know. I think it is one of the good nuanced takes of demons. I prefer the nuanced take to like what Freerin did.
Yeah, just fantasy racism.
Yeah, and
well,
like
it's hard to call it racism. It's just inherently racist with how it's written because it taps into racist rhetoric, even whether it's intended or not. Or if you are race, you are bad is a racist thing to write. Yeah. Anyway.
What? Sorry. Say again.
If you are bad, then you are no. If you are X race, then you are a bad guy. Is a racist thing to write, even if they don't consider it racism in the story.
Can you give an example? Because I still didn't parse what you said.
Freerin.
Right.
So if you're a demon, you're a bad person. No ifs or buts. It's that simple. Even if that is. Even if that is.
No, Freerin's take was you're not a person if you're a demon.
Yeah, but yeah, which again is kind of worse.
Yeah, but
it's like you can explain it in the context of the story. It's like, well, physically they're not human. They're not capable of like normal human emotion and compassion and stuff. It's like sure, but that doesn't make it better as a writing choice. Like,
yeah, it's sort of I that's like
it's icky.
Yeah. I don't like.
It's like what if the conspiracy theories about the Jews was right? You know, like every conspiracy theory was true. That's kind of the vibe it gives. It's not great.
And it's definitely not what it's going for. Like,
no, I don't say it's unintentional, but I still don't like it. I'm not trying to be racist.
That's still my second biggest problem with Freerin. Just the introduction of Sign. The first episode there, I was like, so convinced of the direction the story was going, and it just didn't, and it felt like I was thinking too hard about the story. And whenever a story makes me feel like I'm thinking too hard about it, I hate it. I want to think hard about a story. I like thinking about things.
Yeah. And so it's kind of similar with the whole demon thing. It's like you think that
they're really just evil monsters.
Yeah, don't overthink it. Don't overthink it.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's a bit of a bummer.
But I do think that at least like it's I would say it's unfortunate that is the end result with Freerun, because I do think the idea of having demons really not be just another race, and they are actually just people, bro. Yeah. I think they are actually like emotionless monsters. That's a subversion. It's just not a good one.
Yeah.
It's like it's intentionally subverting the idea. It isn't just trying to say no, demons are clearly just evil. You're stupid for thinking otherwise. Like, that's not what it's saying. It's being like,
it's a subversion. It's a subversion of the current trope, but it's also a regression into like old school fantasy, because that's how the trope started with like orcs and demons and stuff. They're just like, it's a fucking D&D alignment chart. You can have a character that's just evil, and that's just their alignment, and that's fucking stupid.
Mm-hmm. And that's why I really appreciate Demon Lord Daughter, because not only does it do the racism thing, but when the race, like, basically Latina goes to school, and teacher who ends up being really not good is racist towards demons, and it's not for a completely idiot reason. Apparently, like, some of her family was killed by demons.
Right.
So,
okay.
But also she was apparently sent to this school to teach at from a different school because she had basically another racist outburst there towards demons, and it was a problem, so they moved her, basically. And so when she finds out Latina's a demon, she like makes a huge deal about it, but then all the kids in the class defend Latina because they know that she's a good person.
No.
And like it's a bunch of young kids like fucking up the classroom just to make a scene to get other teachers to get in the room to help with this teacher who's going insane.
That's
and being
cool.
Racist.
That's based actually.
Mm-hmm. And then when the way that this teacher found out that she was a demon was by noticing that Latina has a horn. So demons have horns, and she has one horn, and one horn is broken, and that's because demons revere their horns, like it's a symbol of who they are. And the reason she has a broken horn is because of the whole you break a demon's horn when you exile them for a crime. So that is why her horn is broken, and that's also why Dale immediately notices that she is not a normal demon because she was exiled. And he's like, what? A kid? Like she looks a bit younger than she is. He thinks she's 6 years old, but she's 8. So he's like a 6-year-old kid did a crime bad enough to get excommunicated and having their horn broken?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
And so, yeah, that's why he takes her in at the start. And then she's actually like a really attentive, intelligent girl. And so just like she's the kind of person who will be like immensely struggling with something, and then if you ask her if she's okay, she'll say she's fine. So like I don't the kind of person that you really want to she's a great character.
You want to root for her.
Protect this girl.
Yeah.
But so teacher has racist outbreak against her, and basically just goes off on how demons are the demon race spawns demon lords, and they're incredibly long-lived and have extra magic power than other people don't usually have. Racism, blah blah blah, and Latina gets really upset by that, and she goes home, and she was taught defensive magic by Dale to protect herself, but she uses it to break her other horn. And they have nerve endings in them, and they can bleed. So she almost dies doing that. And Dale, when he finds out about this, because he wasn't there at the time, he's like, why did you do this? And she didn't do it because of the racism shit. She did it because the teacher pointed out to her that she has a longer lifespan than Dale does, and that Dale is going to die before her. And that made her not want to be the demon race anymore. So, like, little kid doesn't know what to do. But then when Dale talks to her about that, he tells her that she's being silly. He's older than her. Older people, or even if she was human, he's older, so he's like more likely to die first anyway. And like, it's a tough love scene, but like, he hugs her, and like, it's a great scene.
Well, so holy shit, this dungeon becomes infinitely harder with pen and paper. It just keeps going.
Or you just like drawing arrows?
Yeah, I'm running out of paper. And I think there's something fucked up. I think this dungeon might not actually be like Euclidean. I think it might have like, you know, warps to like you go from a lower point of the dungeon to a higher point. And if it's doing that shit, then my paper might just be wrong.
It that kind of reminds me of Dot Hack Sign. Do you remember the scene where
I haven't actually watched it.
Oh, you haven't watched Dot Hack Sign? You should. It is not terrible. But there's a scene in it where I believe the dude's name is Bear, one of the main dude. Or I guess he's not the. Wait. I mean, okay. The main dude that isn't involved in the weird plot fuckery that's going on in that series, the one who's just like there being a gamer dude. There's a point where they're like doing an event quest, and there's no map, and the girl is complaining, and he's like, "Oh well, it's okay. I have the map," and she's like, "What do you mean? We don't have a map?" He's like, "Yeah, no, I'm drawing it right now." and then there's actually a point where he's like, "Shit, I need to go get more paper."
I mean, this is taking me back to like old dungeon crawlers. This is a unique experience. I kind of like that I don't have a map in a weird way. But yeah, I think I might be like going in circles, so I need to be careful here.
Are there also rooms that like look nearly exactly the same?
Oh, lots, yeah.
Yeah, that is the.
I mean, this dungeon was already hard in Zelda 2, and for this remake, the guy's like, okay, what if I made it worse? Fucking devious. It's like twice as big. But yeah, I'm tracing my paths, and I'm like, oh, this is looking an awful lot like an upper part of the dungeon. I might be going in circles.
Must go up to go down.
We can test the theory, I guess.
Yeah, so with Demon Lord Daughter,
so this goes left,
like
be another one down. Definitely remember a room like this. And there should be, yeah, we'll fight that. Should be a path going directly down. Oh god, yeah, I'm going in circles, aren't I? Oh my god. And then there's a path here, but it doesn't lead anywhere. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Just bomb the wall.
Yeah, I'm going back up. I'm going in circles. That's crazy.
So with Demon Lord Daughter, the final arc of the story is like the darkest and most interesting bit, because
Might as well
obviously there's just it's kind of just there are dark elements present for sure, but it is still like a wholesome family kind of story. And then eventually Latina confesses her feelings to Dale, and he eventually accepts them. And so when she becomes an adult, they become a couple. But that's not where the story ends. And the story actually takes a dark and interesting turn, and it becomes like actually one of my favorite light novels at that point. Because what happens is Latina ends up loving Dale so much that she wants there to be a way for Dale to live as long as her. But there is actually a way. It's
Vampire?
no, demon lords, as it turns out, have the ability to make people into their servants and imparting their power into them. And in doing so, it makes their lives intrinsically tied to the life of that demon lord. Usually this is done to like force somebody into servitude, but there are cases where people can be willing. But it basically makes that person, the moment the demon lord dies, that person will die, but otherwise that person will be as long-lived as the demon lord. So Latina, the thing that she was exiled for originally was being a demon lord candidate. And she was a candidate to become the first demon lord, which is the one that is the just ruler of the demons and like is a good person kind of thing. But Latina originally chose not to accept it because she at the time had made peace with the different lifespans with Dale, but also she was not yet romantically involved with him. So once she realized like how much she actually loved him now that they were actually together, then she wanted to become a demon lord. But the first demon lord position now has already been filled. So what ends up happening is there are 7 demon lords, and it's basically based around colors of the rainbow and different functions that the gods have in. Honestly, I love the lore in this series. It's like there's no reason for it to be so deep, but it's fucking deep. Like it's still got the like, oh, I'm an adventurer killing monsters and shit, the adventure guild, that kind of thing. Like it's got that, but the actual world and lore is really interesting. And so all 7 demon lords are taken, but there's apparently an 8th demon lord, and this is basically one that exists outside the normal laws of the world. And the purpose of this 8th demon lord is to basically sap strength just by existing of the other demon lords, because the demon lord's purpose in the world as appointed by the gods is to cause the world to move forward, like to stop the world from going stagnant effectively. Like they with that stopping the world from going stagnant can take the form of literally causing war and destruction and shit, but that can also be like a positive change for the world as well. So the 8th demon lord slot is effectively when the heroes of the world are not doing their job in defeating the bad demon lords, basically. Then the 8th demon lord is sort of like cosmic god failsafe for the demon lords all basically being completely stagnant in the world.
Hmm.
And that 8th Demon Lord possibility is one of the reasons why Latina was exiled, because that if you become that 8th Demon Lord, you're literally killing all the other Demon Lords just by existing.
Right.
And so Latina, now that she's in this position where she wants Dale to live forever and knows that as a Demon Lord she would be able to do that, she decides to become the 8th Demon Lord. And then after she becomes the Demon Lord, Dale is like, what the fuck, why are you a Demon Lord now? Because he's a hero and he is literally programmed by the gods to kill Demon Lords. So, and she didn't know that originally. So they kind of have a confession scene of, shit, you're now a Demon Lord? I'm kind of the hero that kills the Demon Lords. Or at least I'm supposed to do that. And what happens is, she's like, well, I became a Demon Lord because I wanted to make you a demon. I forget the terminology. I think there might have been a different word for that, but basically she explains, well, I wanted you to live as long as me. I couldn't. I didn't want to live without you, basically. And his response is like, okay, then do it. Make me a demon. He just doesn't question it in the slightest, because he knows, like,
I've already been here. What the fuck? I'm so lost.
Oh no.
I thought this was unexplored territory. Oh gosh.
So throughout the entire series, it's been repeatedly said that Latina is basically a genius. Like, everything that she learns to do, she picks up really quickly and is just like a super smart and intelligent person. So when she says all this to Dale, he's like, look, you're really, like, you're an adult now. You're a really smart person. I respect your decision. If this is what you've decided, then I'll accept it immediately. And so he gets made into, he gets given the power of a demon and extends his lifespan. And then shortly after, like the next night, basically, Latina is crying for some reason. Dale's like, what's going on? And she's like, I'm sorry, and then vanishes in front of his eyes. Like, teleport, gone. And basically what happened was the other 7 Demon Lords worked together to seal her away. And so then the rest of the story basically becomes Dale going on a warpath against the Demon Lords to get her back. And so that's why I usually never call the series by its full name. If it's for my daughter, I'd even defeat a Demon Lord. Because, 1, the daughter is a Demon Lord now, and 2, he doesn't defeat a Demon Lord. He defeats every Demon Lord. He kills all of them. All of them but 1. He doesn't kill the first Demon Lord. And that is because, as it turns out, the one who became the first Demon Lord was Latina's twin sister. And that's why she was also a candidate for the first Demon Lord, because both of them were twins and had the ability to become a Demon Lord. And Latina was the first choice for the first Demon Lord position, but she gave it up, so her sister took it. So Dale does not kill that one, but he does kill all the others. And he does it in like dark revenge story way. Like, it's not like, oh well, I guess I have to do this. It's like cold-blooded murder time, and it's great. And like I said, I just love the dark elements along with the light elements. They're both important to make a story really stick with you, and that.
So none of this was in the anime.
Nope, none of it. The anime left off, I think, when Latina is 10 years old, so she hasn't even realized. Well, okay, I think in like maybe the last episode, there's like a thing where it's clear that maybe Latina does have feelings for Dale. Basically, she gets kind of jealous of another female adventurer that is kind of flirty with Dale, and she's like, she's huffy about it. So like at that point, you could be like, oh yeah, it's kind of clear that she has feelings for him, but like not in so clearly spoken terms. So like all the romance isn't there, all of the dark murder rampage that Dale goes on to save her, none of that. And then there is a bit of an epilogue too after he saves her. And it basically has to do with so the demon race was pretty insular, and like people didn't know much about demons, and like even though being a demon isn't something to be like burned at the stake for, it's kind of like the demons hide their horns, generally speaking, in human towns because they're just trying to not be bothered. So it's actually been the plan of the first demon lord, Latina's sister, to stop that, to actually build diplomatic relations with other countries. So that kind of becomes where the story goes for a little bit, but it's mostly the story is done once Latina is saved. There's just like 1 or 2 books after that maybe, and they're short stories.
Okay, I know where I am now. Holy shit. This...
Nice.
I can't wait to show my map of this. This is nuts.
You gotta take a picture.
So, basically, that has walked me all the way up here. Oh, God.
So I probably need to get going to sleep soon.
Yeah, this has gone longer than I thought it would. I'm sorry, Lola. That's okay.
It's okay.
You can ditch if you have to.
No, I can. I will be right back, and then I will be able to stay around for like another half an hour, maybe.
Okay, no problem then.
Okay, be right back.
Okay. Well, I'm basically near the top of the dungeon now. I think I am going to do this. I need to leave the dungeon and get my chicken power and stuff. It's just funny how this glitch of the map not working is giving me like a an emergent experience of doing the pen and paper thing with this dungeon again. It's cool. Sometimes I feel like games are better off without maps. I know like people are like so against the idea of pen and paper, but it adds something. Like going through that realization of like, oh shit, am I going in circles? It's a cool realization to have. And that would be completely spoiled if you had like a in-game map. I know the developer of Sheeplad like is very vocal about not wanting maps in his games. He thinks it makes games worse. Or would definitely make his game worse. But yeah, this might need to be a 3-parter. I mean, considering I lost a lot of progress. I am going to look at the spoiler log because I definitely got that mask. And I don't have it anymore. Upper North Castle hallway. Okay. I think I'm reading that right. Check that out. Okay, let's go. Ah, a bit of a tricky puzzle section. I mean, platforming section. No! Damn it! Ow! Ah. Come on! Come on, last jump. No, I fucked it up! I'm shooting fairy when I get to the top. Screw this. There it is. Awesome. I forget if there's anything else I need to access Dragmire and all that.
I am back.
Welcome back. I've got my monster mask again.
Nice. Now become chicken.
Yeah, I'm doing that.
So yeah, with that's why when I talk about that series, I abbreviate it to Demon Lord Daughter because that's very accurate.
I see.
And it's honestly like I want to rewatch the anime at some point, but I don't have like a huge desire to. But I will. It's probably one of the few light novels that I've actually gone and reread because I usually don't reread light novels. The only light novels off the top of my head that I can think that I've ever reread are Demon Lord Daughter and Haruhi.
Wow, okay.
But that, I mean, length is a huge factor there probably because, I mean, with Haruhi, I don't reread like all of it. I'll reread like the 1 week Mikuru story and then Surprise. Those are like what I reread of Haruhi because I think the anime has done Disappearance and everything else better than the books. The books aren't bad, and I've read them more than once for sure, but I keep going back to the stories that have yet to be adapted, that are full, fleshed out stories that actually have stakes in them. Because usually Haruhi doesn't have any stakes in this story. It's like, oh, the stakes are make Haruhi happy or world die. But, like, that's such a... I mean, that's not gonna happen. Like, you know it isn't. They're just gonna do whatever thing to make Haruhi happy. That's just what they'll do.
Yeah.
But yeah, with Demon Lord Daughter, the entire series is only 9 light novels long. And I don't think I've even read the 9th one yet. I keep meaning to, but I think I've actually reread the, like, early light novels, like before the romance and the dark turn. I think I've read that, like... Okay, no, the like, the murder path, I think I've read 3 times, and the first half before that, 4 times. I've definitely reread Haruhi more times than that, though. But like, yeah, no, I really love the books, and it's just so sad to me that Usagi Drop has ruined this series because people think that like, I don't know, that there's a huge difference in the series. Like, it's not even just the age gap, but like the power dynamic of a parent and their child is like completely different than the basically it's different than what Demon Lord Daughter is doing. Like I said, Dale is kind of, I mean, he's definitely with her for far less time than the guy who's making food for the tavern and runs the tavern. Like that's basically her real dad. And
is it just a case of the title of the book really like implying something that isn't there?
No, Dale thinks that she's his daughter. He thinks that. That is absolutely what he thinks. But like, in actuality, in like, he just kind of like buys her things and like takes her places. That's all he does, parent wise. Like, most teaching stuff he doesn't do. Or like, I don't know how to put it. Like, he's not he's fucking more like sugar daddy than a normal daddy. But like, I obviously can't recommend this series to people because of this. Like, I know that people don't want this kind of story. It's just like, it's upsetting to me how good this story is that does this thing that Usagi Drop made infamous. But like, Usagi Drop is a 28-year age gap, so like 10 years. Like my parents, my actual parents, are 9 years apart in age. Like, a 10-year age gap is nothing. The only problem here is power dynamic, and if you're going to bring
but, like,
up,
she's still a child.
Right?
Yeah.
So
it's not nothing. 90s isn't nothing.
I mean, she doesn't. Romance between them doesn't start until she stops being a child. So, like, the only real problem here is power dynamic, because if you have somebody who is in charge of somebody else's life, then it's kind of fucked up if you romance that person later. But if anything, the fact that he doesn't see her that way, that makes it feel better, even, because like, he's not like grooming her. Like, that's not what's happening. And I just, I don't know, a thing I like people hate, and it makes me upset. That's the moral of the story. I understand why they hate it, but like, it is really reductive to hate on it, because I think it's a lot better than that.
Well,
but to be fair, I also defend the Usagi Drop anime, because the anime doesn't animate the bit that makes it really bad, and I do honestly think that, like, just if you do Usagi Drop anime in a vacuum is a really good anime, right?
Yeah.
Like, if they ever animated that later part, then I would be like, yeah, that kind of ruins it. But like, people don't have to read the manga; they can just enjoy the anime. And like I said, the reason the author did that is because she grew attached to those characters, and like, I get it. That's you just wanted that for them because you're kind of self-inserting onto the main girl and you like the main guy. Like, okay, I get it. It's not good writing, but like, I get it. But like, I really do believe Demon Lord Daughter is good writing, which is why it's just sad. It's a different kind of sad.
I no longer know where I am in this fucking dungeon. Oh, I have a vague idea, but no. It's like, did I draw my map wrong? Oh no.
Does this dungeon have the doors where if you go through it one way and then go back, you're in a different place?
Well, I think it's that evil. Yeah, this is definitely. I'm pretty sure I know where I am now.
Every door you walk through, you should test that just to be safe.
Remember when I was like playing around with Zelda Classic and trying to make a dungeon? That was one of the first things I did. It's like, what if when you go in this room and you go back in a different room? Would that be funny? Ha ha ha. And then I got I did playtesting and everyone fucking hated me. I'm like, oh. Maybe I should.
The only way you can make that work well is by basically forcing the player into a box that their only way to progress is to leave the box back through the way they came. And that's when they realize that going in and out. And as long as you don't make it like half the doors in this dungeon do this, then
to be fair, I was like 13. I still didn't know what good game design was.
Fair enough. But yeah, no, like that kind of thing can work, and like plenty of games do similar things.
Yeah, I just opened that key door. I know where I am. I know that I haven't been here before, so I can start mapping it out.
Nice. It's time for a new map. Watch this just be like a single long corridor to the boss.
I mean, it's so impossible for me to memorize a lot of this dungeon when I haven't played it in years. It's just too complicated. Well, not years, like 1 year singular, I think. It'll go right or down. Let's go right, I guess. I'll go. Leave me alone! Leave me alone! Okay, dead end.
This is I think my least favorite thing in this game is these falling block things.
I sure love that falling block.
It's just like, I don't know. It breaks the pace of the game in a bad way. It doesn't feel like a. So like it forces the player to stop.
Yeah, it's not the most interesting thing. There's never a puzzle or anything. It's just kind of a. Okay, I guess I gotta wait.
Yeah, like they're like downtime is important in games, but like there is no downtime because you're watching it. Like, you don't get to take a breather. You get to wait, but like watch it like a hawk and be annoyed at it taking too long.
Gotta protect. Should I fight it? I'm really close to leveling up too. Get over here. Oh. God. Yeah.
Nice. One more of those guys in your level. What's your favorite problematic piece of media?
I don't want to get into that conversation.
But I shared mine. You have to share yours now.
Probably No Game, No Life.
That's fair.
Yeah. Enough said.
I mean, I was one that like pointed even more controversies with that series to you. That's not even to do with the story.
Yeah, that's a shame.
Like, art theft, haha, fun.
I hope they've stopped doing that.
They almost definitely have.
That's something, at least.
I mean, it's the kind of thing of when, like, the moment you get called on it, you stop doing it because now everyone is watching you to see if you'll do it. it's even if you wanted to do it, you can't.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, I hope they stopped wanting to do it.
Mm-hmm. Hey.
But at the same, to defend them a little, and I don't want to defend them very much on this, but like, making art is hard, and like, taking shortcuts by tracing somebody else's work, like, I at least would understand why you want to do that, because you want it to look good. You want it to look as good as possible, and like, somebody else is a better artist than you. Okay, but like, that's fucked up. Don't do that.
Yeah.
But I think it's important to like talk about people's mentality with shit like that, because it usually doesn't come from like a place of pure evil. It'd be easy if it did, right? You could just condemn a person if they're being evil.
It's whatever. Like, I come for the story, not the art.
Mm-hmm. If anything, it was cool that the author was the one doing the art, right? Like, I don't think there's actually many light novels where the author is also the artist. Can you think of oh, Ryukishi? There you go.
Yeah, I was gonna say Ryukishi. There aren't a lot.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, I guess like
I think this is a forbidden if I wrote this right. Yeah. Back I go. Yeah, I don't think we're finishing tonight, gamers.
Fair enough. Become bird for the fans before it's too late.
Now, bird for the fans. Oh, a bird likes worm.
Well, chicken parrying made me remember anime that upset me in the current season.
Oh.
I parry everything. I wanted to like it. I enjoyed the first episode a lot, but then it started doing a thing that literally another anime in the current season is doing that I like immediately noped out of. I'll be honest, a trend, I guess, because I mean, if there's two anime in the current season doing it, then it's a trend, right?
Yeah.
Guy who is OP but doesn't realize he's OP and is constantly being told he's OP by people, but still doesn't get it and just starts inventing reasons in his head why he's not OP. I hate that so much. It's my
that's definitely a
fucking
trend. I've seen that in a few anime.
Yeah. Like look, I can, when it's like he's actually OP, but then learns he's OP and now has to deal with the fact that he's OP and that's a change to his life. That's interesting. That's good writing. You can have that be the character. But when it's like oh, that person tripped and fell, that's why I won the fight. And it's like, no, you just fucking threw them across the room. They didn't trip. Like that's what I hate, because that's just so like, there's no human that's like that. That's not a real person. You're not like, oh, that fights a minotaur and it's a horribly strong fight, and he's just like, oh my god, that's a cow? That was a cow? Cows are crazy. I'm not fucking with cows again. Do people eat cows all the time? That's crazy. Fucking stupid. There's no, that person doesn't exist, author. What the fuck are you on about?
Yeah. No one's that stupid.
The author is. Maybe that's it's actually the author. The author is they're self-inserting and they actually are this stupid. So that's why they think this makes sense.
It's the only logical explanation.
I don't know. It upsets me. I am totally on board for the guy who just like spent his entire life learning to parry so hard that he can like parry somebody's sword into their head and kill them. And like that's an interesting character, but having him be like downplaying literally every encounter and like every time somebody tells him, "Wow, you're amazing," he's like, "What the no, I'm not." Because stupid made up reason is it's like, "Oh my god, I hate this." There's no that you know that's what it is. There's no character development there. It's literally like going out of your way to protect the status quo of your character being a dumb idiot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Honestly, I think that's why I like Unwanted Undead Adventure so much. Because it kind of does that, but it also doesn't, because the main character, like, he gets progressively stronger as the series goes on and all that, but he's constantly confronted with old challenges that he had, and now he like literally gets to like one-to-one compare. Oh wow, I never would have been able to do this when I wasn't a vampire, and now I can. This is crazy. And like shit happens where like he fights his old mentor who he like never stood a chance against before, but now he like goes toe to toe with them, and he's like, well shit, I'm like such good writing, and it's so fucked up when people don't do that. I'm mad. Yeah, I could rant about this forever. There is good writing to be had in a character being overpowered but realizing it, and then
Oh, I'm so lost. Why does this keep happening? This dungeon's so complicated.
did you try going backwards? Like I said, I think that might be the thing. Or wait, what happens if you fall down this pit? Have you tried falling down pits?
Yeah, I have. I've fallen down this pit several times now.
Okay.
It keeps showing up. I'm like, what? I'm here now? But I went a completely different direction. Ah! So I think I need to rethink this a bit.
At least the map has been patched, right? This is only a problem for you. Nobody else is going to have this problem from now on.
Yeah, apparently. But it's... Look, I'm complaining, but this is kind of funny.
Mm-hmm.
It's amusing.
I would just do it in the obsessive compulsive way of any room I enter, I just look around in the room for all the possible ways to go, write them all down, and then systematically move to the next room, write down all the ways I can go, including backwards, and then just confirm or deny. And like I would map it out with letters and then have it be like
at my head.
Well, if I'm still not figuring it out when I'm doing it this way, then you basically exponentially increase your search radius, which is instead of it being this room leads to A, B, C, D rooms, you make it be this room leads to A, B, C, D rooms, which lead to each their own, and then you like basically from each room spread out and see if there are differences when you spread out in that way.
I think I can make sense of this map, but I'm gonna need to sit with it for a minute, and I think this might be a good spot to end stream.
Sleep on it.
Yeah. But this is good. This is good content. Alright, we'll end stream here. Thank you, anybody who's watching. We will continue this another time. Yeah, I'm free for the week, so I'll definitely have more time to do more streams. So, yeah. And thank you, Lobo, for hanging out. This is lots of fun.
Yep, always fun.
All right.
Sorry that I ranted for so long.
It's okay. It's interesting. All right. Thank you, everybody. Bye-bye for now.
Bye.
The end.